Emily Goligoski with Women 2.0's In Conversation series, here with Megan Smith at Google to talk about Google.org, where she's general manager and works as a VP of business development. Thanks for joining us this afternoon.
Sure.
So tell us a bit about Google.org, the work you're doing around tech-driven philanthropy and what that means.
Mm-hmm. So what we realize is that we have 10,000 engineers in the Google team, and we wanted to make a way for them to do philanthropic work in addition to the core work they're doing on search and other things. With this, we wanted to make a budget so that engineers could come and propose projects that they felt could have really high impact, potentially in the area of global health or energy or green energy, environment, poverty, etc. But would just leverage this budget. We could move their work to this cost center and kind of give this work to the world.
And as someone who is trained as an engineer, what makes you the most excited about projects like these?
I think, I'm an optimist, and I love to work on technologies that do two things: work on increasing people's the quality of life for people, or things that help people, and the second is reducing our impact on the planet. And I think these are examples of where you're leveraging some extraordinary technologies at a global scale.
And I imagine that the number of proposals that you see coming in from the engineering team are really exciting.
Mm-hmm.
And sort of along a theme that we talk about a lot as part of this series, which is innovation, is that idea of kind of taking a risk and deciding that something that seems like a crazy idea to you might actually have weight. And what is your advice to engineers who are kind of kicking around an idea but don't know if it really has merit?
Well, I think it's valuable. Just start talking to people. Talk to people. Maybe make a little prototype. Picture worth 1,000 words. Demos are worth a lot. And the good news is that in the world of computer science, the platforms have really advanced to a level where you really can prototype stuff. Sometimes even if our UI team, just in general, if people are talking about stuff, they'll try to make a way to see what we're talking about. That way then we can all look together at an idea and say, oh no, that's not right, or this is, or whatever. So getting started is important. It's really about iteration of an idea, that the first idea is not usually exactly right. Maybe it's directionally right, but the first instantiations, things always evolve. That's true in products in general. You can look at any company and say, okay, what was their first product and where are they now? And I think the successful entrepreneurs and companies adapt as they get input and figure out what it is we actually want to do or how this might actually work.
Thinking about groups, maybe networking or maybe more project-based, and their makeup of men compared to women, I'm curious if there are any kind of exemplary organizations that you're aware of that are really having a strong presence of female engineers.
Right. I think it's one of the things that I was blown away by. We met with I think it's the Engineers Without Borders people, and they have all these chapters at universities and professional engineers. I think there's 13,000 engineers in this. It's like Doctors Without Borders.
Sure.
It's the engineers. It tends to be a little more mechanical, civil, those kinds of engineering folks, but 40% women in these groups. So what I thought about from that is that I wonder if service-based engineering, where you're really doing a lot of outreach to really directly impact people's lives, might be really interesting to women.
I think there's definitely a thread there. I'm starting to see actually even more Ruby on Rails workshops that are aimed at women, where the projects tend to be based on kind of social output in a way that I hadn't seen at any other event like that.
Right, and so if you think about sort of having a goal of working on things you're passionate about, I think that for young women, if we were to reach out to K-12 and tell them about these things that you can do, I think we actually would pull more women into computer science and technology, knowing that these kinds of careers are available to have direct impact through technology, in addition to direct impact through, say, an NGO work or other kinds of education or other applied work, which is also very valid. But how do you get more women in technology? I think this would be one of the ways.
What advice would you give to, let's say, a girl in high school who was potentially interested in computer science but maybe needed to be told more about it?
I think again, the key for boys and girls to pull them into computer science and technology is show the applications. Why do we do this thing? And so to help them go find some practicing, programmers, and ask, what are you doing and why are you doing it? What does your day look like? What's exciting about this? And talk to a bunch of different people so you don't get a skewed view of one view. And also the other thing that I think is really significant is you typically think of a liberal arts degree as a great base for then going on and doing whatever you might do. I actually think a computer science degree and an engineering degree are just as valid a base in the 21st century manager.
Right.
It's a great way to think about that stuff without maybe choosing right away, I'm going to be an engineer, I'm going to be a computer science, I'm going to use this as a base.
Sure. Well, we look forward to seeing more from your team. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
This was wonderful.